What's your favourite piece of EastEnders soap logic? First person says, mine is that every house on the square only seems to be rented or sold to people who live a 5-second walk away 90% of the time. Of course, why would you leave the square? It's the home of everyone. Everybody who's important lives in the square. And when people leave, they leave to go to a house about 2 minutes away. And it's still the most agonising shit ever. Because they're like, I'll never see you anymore. It's like, yep, I'm 2 doors down, you fucking idiot. What are you doing?
My one is obviously I don't like, how does everyone have everyone's? I know this is more of a sub-take, but how does everyone have everyone's number? And like, why does everyone know everyone's business? Like, you know, if
like I've been here for like 20 years. I don't know any of my neighbours. I've never talked to any of them.
Hello, Steve, your name's Derek. Yeah, Derek. I knew your name was Derek. Yeah, Derek. Yeah, I know you.
Yeah. This next person says, no matter whether the drama revolved around Jack, Denise, Amy, or Ricky, as long as it was in the Branding house, every episode would end with Jack in his coat, standing by his living room door and asking, "So, who's up for a takeaway?" It does happen. Honestly, if they tried to introduce a secret affair story with Jack, they could probably get away with it considering how often he does this. Every time he's off for a takeaway, he could be having a quick shag with his partner. Romance blossoms in McClunky's. Whoa.
That kinkies in that place.
McKinkies. Residents who are allegedly skint eat out every day and get tea from the cafe instead of just going home to make it. Ditto, beer, a pint in London is going to be at least £6. 1 bottle of unbranded, generic beer, please.
Can I get a Beineken, please?
Oh. Along the same lines, Stacey being broke and having a house with a garage, and probably then someone just goes, probably wouldn't be so brassic if she wasn't flogging burgers for about £2. Yeah, they need to put the money up on those prices, because I wish that shit was so cheap. Right, I wish, but it's not. People can afford to rent £1 million terrace/detached house in the East End by just selling underwear or flowers on the market. If you're mixed up in something illegal and the police are looking for you, the solution is to run away, usually to Spain. And after 6 months and Strictly's finished, you can come back and the police have forgotten all about it. Some people get away with this repeatedly and must have a file an inch thick at the police station for missed interviews. Link to that, if you move out the square, you cease all contact, never call or visit, even if you've just gone to Milton Keynes. May as well be Mongolia for the apparent difficulties in maintaining contact. Yeah. You never really, occasionally, you're right, hello, Zoe. How's it going, Zoe? Like, occasionally you get that, but never often. Obviously, it's always going to be a thing with soaps is you can't exactly just call up like, oh yeah, can you be in this scene, Sean? And then, like it's always for a stint or time away.
Unless it's something big like Dot's funeral, then they can just rob in.
Yeah, but that's a big enough occasion to actually waste time to actually appear for.
Yeah, who was Lofty and Mary appeared in it?
Yes. Barry and Simon? Not Simon.
It's like Barry, the guy who went, "We're gonna do it."
Yeah, the famous first gay couple.
You sleep in the same sheets.
Nobody owns a washing machine, even if you own multiple businesses. You can't afford it. Yeah, well, they have to keep the laundrette running, right? In all fairness, there's a lot of people who don't own tumble dryers, and that can make it hard to keep on top of washing, especially during the winter. You have a washing machine, but you still use the laundrette for washing and drying things like duvets and pillows when you get behind. People working dead-end jobs on the market stall can afford not only rent and bills in London, but also fry-ups in the cafe and pints in the Vic every day. Dead-end job, that's a bit rude. I've found members who owns 2 fruit and veg stalls and owns a property in Westminster. Hardly dead-end, mate. She's the exception, mate. She's the exception.
Well, right, but market stalls, especially in Ireland, like in Dublin, it's a dying trade. I think in Dublin, famously, there's a street. It was used in the Mrs. Brown's movie, where basically I forget what it was called. It was something like stall. I forget the name of like the where the street it took place in. But now that they've basically shut down that market stall, you can no longer except for like maybe 2 stalls, and they're planning to put houses on it. So I do think market stalls are not. It's still a thing, but it's not as big now as it was like in the 80s and 90s, because you can pretty much do all your shopping online.
Yes.
I do think you can't get rid of the market stalls in EastEnders.
No.
Because they do exist in like London.
Oh, it still exists here. You know, they still exist everywhere. When someone does something wrong, everything they do is the wrong thing to do. Stays in the house. Too much of a coward to show your face, are you? Leave the house. How dare you show your face around here after what you did? Doesn't apologise. Do you not think you owe people an apology? Apologises. Do you think sorry's going to make everything's alright? Do you? Yep. That is the EastEnders flowchart, as someone quips. That is just how it works. Someone says adoption isn't a permanent solution. Bex and Raymond were both united with their birth parents following the tragic demise of their adoptive parents. Yep. Straight back to the original parents. Well, they're gone for now. Not for good. People swanning in and out of tenancies. Alfie and Freddie have just started renting the flat. Now Alfie's fucked off to wherever and Freddie's gone to his mum's. Who's paying the rent on that flat? Have they just abandoned it with all their stuff inside? On that note, whenever characters move or go away, they always have one hold all the stuff to take with them. Presumably everyone in EastEnders is a minimalist.
Well, I'd say the paying for the rent, like in Spain and wherever Freddie is.
Little Mo's.
That sounds like a nice pub to go to, actually. Like that would be my in-story, in-universe reasoning. But that doesn't really matter. Like, who's really sitting there going, Jesus, Alfie and Freddie haven't paid rent. Jesus Christ. You're not really thinking about that.
And someone just says, and when people get a tenancy within a matter of hours, the property is miraculously professionally redecorated and they're all unpacked without a single scene of anyone as much as holding a paintbrush. Yeah, they do love to do up the flats. And it's good fun. You can get mental health support or a diagnosis immediately. Someone obviously says yes. Obviously, Freddie comes to mind. And this is also the inaccurate parts of Stacey's bipolar storyline. Jean was just like, I'm taking you to the doctor today. And the appointment was just, you seem manic, here's some medication. Doctor was very patient with her too, which is unfortunately uncommon for people having episodes like a manic episode or a psychotic episode. Yeah, people usually don't know how to react, even if they are a medical professional. It takes a lot to actually notice something bad's going on. You can be in there for years not actually getting the proper help or treatment you want or require. Someone says, to be fair, bipolar and my GP does this, thankfully. And if your daughter's been seemingly mentally unwell, touch wood, just a UTI last time. I took my concerns about her having hereditary bipolar very seriously. There are some CCGs and trusts that work efficiently, not always but with chronic and lifelong illnesses, generally quite good but appreciate due to serious neglect. It isn't always great, especially when it comes to mental health. That's just a good statement, just a nice statement. Some things are cool to see. In this cost of living crisis, we haven't seen any major businesses shutting down for good. Yeah, everybody's fine, apparently. Except for the Slaters, of course, who are struggling, but the house is never at risk. Also, the fact that it's on the house is used at least once every episode. How are they making any profit? We don't see any major businesses in the square at all. To be fair, many of them are for money laundering. Very true. Phil's chicken shops. All money laundering. Characters who are teachers are nearly always creeps. Thea Hawthorne, Stalker, Gethin Price, romances mother and daughter duo Sonia and Bex. Marcus Duffy, never seen on screen, but he was a teacher who raped young Kathy. Rod Morris, maths tutor who sexually assaulted Nicky DeMarco. Beware of male teachers in Walford, and someone says, and don't forget when Michelle came back, she'd been sleeping with the students. The little mad bastard. Someone says, and female doctors. I remember May Wright imprisoning Dawn Swan, and the only other female doctor I think of Nina Gupta was Taming Comparison. There we are. No history of previous text messages, of course. The cost of renting in the East End London will be astronomical. This isn't the 80% of the East End is trendy and houses would go for a bomb. There was even the Max storyline. They were buying every property in the square to turn it into a massive series of luxury apartments. Any one of those houses would sell for a fortune, and for me, it's the Slaters. If that was a council house, then I could understand it, but it's a private let. The realism of housing costs and cost of living in EE is ridiculous. These people could not afford to live here unless they changed the tone of the square, aka to people who could afford to live here. You either inherit, you can afford it yourself, or the government pay for you, but otherwise it's ridiculous that these people are living there. Yeah, fair enough.
Lost is about 10 watts.
That's not really much else. It's just about finding the characters. It's essentially putting characters who would never usually be there to fucking, like, to do something. Like when Ben got Martin to be a hitman to kill Keanu, and it's like, why though? Why is he doing that? So much other interesting ones here.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of different shit. And it's just some of those dumb little soap logic things. We've already done a video that's fairly similar to this, so you can just go ahead and watch that if you want a little bit more. But I'll find, and the final one is just simply saying, all jobs are found within the square. No one is ever employed outside. Yeah, it's always good fun to see everybody living in the same fucking place, and no one ever leaves. But yes, there we are. Another video discussing Eastenders soap logic. What's your favourite soap logic? What's your least favourite soap logic? Tell us all in the comment section down below. I've been Ash from Watching Walford, and I've been joined by Piggy.
I just noticed now my hat's unbalanced. Just noticed that now. But yeah, you can follow us on Twitter /X, Instagram and Twitch at Watching Walford. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Watching Walford. You like wrestling content, you know the shtick by now. You can subscribe to our wrestling channel for more wrestling content, and maybe we'll do a wrestling video on this channel as a promotion for that channel. But if you want that channel's link, it's One More Match 182. And if you want more of this boy here, you can follow him on Twitter at Real Aquadreams and on Twitch at Aquadreams. So yeah, we will see you in the next one. I've been Piggy. I've been joined by Ash. Fuck you, bye. See you, bye. Fuck you, bye.